Here we go, guys. We are going to do a full walkthrough of the Stormcast campaign, start to finish. Check the timestamps down below if you want to jump to a specific point or see how our warband is progressing a little bit faster than slogging through every single battle with us. But we are going to cover everything, so buckle in.
The Stormcast Eternals are mortal heroes that have been remade into godlike warriors in the forges of Azir. Each the embodiment of Sigmar's storm. They are the God King's wrath, made manifest, and they were created for one single purpose: outright war.
Alright, starting out here, we have to pick who kind of the tip of the spear of our warband is going to be. We're going to go with a unit of castigators here, and then a vanguard palador. So here, I'm picking the castigators because I see them as an essential backbone for the warband, and then I'm picking up the palador because I want a really high-powered unit to have regardless of what I'm going to end up picking up on the way in the campaign. So everything else that I get to add to the warband is random, so that's why I have a really hard hitter, a specialist unit that I picked up, and then a essential unit that I see here. And then we're going to try and get as much use as we can out of Freya, really doing work to carry us through these early missions. We venture into the Manse. Drop the Lord down. Advance, and then set up the castigators right behind. We have all melee opponents, so we should be able to deal with these guys fairly handily and hopefully fight them in kind of sections rather than all at once. We do want to be able to pick up this chest to be able to have as much equipment available to us as possible. But that is going to be secondary. We have a pretty good stash of equipment in the back. What's the play here? I think we keep on covering the castigators, even if it means throwing the charge in this direction. Yeah, that's still the play. Freya's armor is holding just fine here. We love seeing that. We're going to advance all the way up here. How much do we toy around with this initial wave? We might toy around a little bit. I think they're still going to go after Freya and not the castigators. So we'll reposition the castigators and try and get in a position to pick up the common war chest. There they go. They throw the charge, suicide charge, go down, and this is where wave 2 is going to hop in. We, however, are really only interested in the chest. We'll set up an indirect attack where we know they're going to spawn in and call it a turn. Now we can pick up the chest. We also hold the high ground. 3 items. I'm not sure what the white is. The white might be lore. And then we also picked up a common and an uncommon item. I like seeing that. We're going to assume that they're going to step up toward Freya. And there we go. They want to rend Freya, which normally is a good tactic. But while channeling, they cannot counterattack, making them vulnerable to coming down off the hill. Castigators try and hit them as much as possible. And we finally have enough power to be able to bring in our next unit. We could have brought him in last turn. We should have. I was missing exactly when he became available. There we go. When he spawns in, he does damage. Oh no, they go for another channel. We'll take him out and hit that XP. Alright, we got a prosecutor to add to the warband. We like seeing that. He can help form the shield wall with our leader. The rest of this stuff is kind of repetitious to what we already have. We have our first branching decision here to make. We can destroy all enemies on the west battlements or destroy all enemies on the east battlements. I usually make this decision based on which side has banshees, but they both have banshees. So we're going to go over here because this side also has chain ghasts, the range unit. So we'll slide up here and avoid the range. I like having all my enemies be melee so they have to run up towards me. We'll add in the prosecutor here, and we are feeling pretty good about this. Make sure that he has the best items possible. I like adding this to my prosecutors, allowing them to have fly be second nature, so you can fly and then still throw a charge after that. Very nice to see. I like putting all the tribute onto Freya here. Getting her leveled up I see as the most important thing because she is kind of the most persistent character. And we are in. We're going to beeline for the chest. Also looking to be able to fight this group of enemies separate from the other group. Drop the castigators in reserve once again. And then wait for our reserves of power to build up. We have some expensive units waiting in the wings. Ah, here come the Banshees. Always the Banshees giving me trouble. We'll actually fully reposition the castigators here. Line up an indirect attack. Can we anticipate where the Banshees are going? Are they going to swing around? Or onto the high ground? We'll just toss it here. And that was probably not the best spot to channel the ordnance, but we should still be fine. Yeah, they advanced farther. Putting it over there would have been nicer. We live and we learn. Let's go out here. And then because we have so many blockers around here, we'll be able to do our indirect attack just to cover us right in front. And I'm actually just going to fortify Freya, anticipating them to pile in, and she'll be able to do as much retribution back as possible. Yeah. These guys are like assassin characters, so they don't care about our high armor, but they don't do too much damage, so we're still fine. Our castigators are just dead weight here. Come on, guys. Get with it. We'll throw this. It'll hurt Freya. I guess we just go over here. Prosecutor in play, and we end the turn. Maybe we'll pick up the lore chest. That's kind of a bonus. We will advance Freya. Pick off the Banshee. A lot of enemies incoming. Oh, she got slowed by the Banshee, so she's not able to make a really solid reposition. Okay. We will advance here, and then line up the Javelin where we know they are incoming. It'll do a little bit, but just that extra tick of damage could be pretty useful. Oh, wow. There we go. We got the damage. All these Blade Geist Revenants. All melee. These guys are not super fast. We should be in a good position to deal with them. I could fortify Freya just to get that heal. Hold the Prosecutor back. They're going to have to come to us. And we're one power away from being able to get in our Palador. And then we'll be in the end game. Youch! Able to throw that ability over to hit the castigators. Now, it will not be the end of the world if we lose the castigators. We have enough miracles to be able to revive the units, but still don't want to see those losses accrued. We're back up to 2 movement, which means we can bring in the Hammer Slam with the disruption there, cracking those guys, pile on the damage, and give her a backup for the armor. We bring in the Palador in the back here, so this guy is kitted out to absolutely destroy. He has Blitz. He can throw 2 charges in a turn, and he doesn't care about return damage. So you can just hammer away at the enemies, dishing out. He only does 3 damage right now. Going to be looking for ways to bring that damage number up. The rest of his abilities, or the rest of his equipment rather, is set up to keep him a little more durable. And I will trade that in a heartbeat for letting him hit harder. We'll finish these guys off. There we go, keep the guard up. We can... Honestly, we're gonna teleport onto the high ground. We have so much magic banked up, and all this power is just always gonna be rolling over into more magic. So we can use our abilities as much as possible. Here they come. Going into Freya. Bad decision on their part. We have armor. High ground advantage, helping us out. Bunch of return damage there. Alright. Palador, please prove that you are with it. Got him. Take him in, and then he can come down here as well. Oh, it's so good. Castigators light him up from across the barrier. And we'll actually put the experience here on the Prosecutor. Because he's new to the warband, you want to make sure he gets as much experience as possible. My other guys are close to max. We get Liberators and additional max health to summon Liberators. That's fun to see. Health per turn for active shield wall. Okay, things are really coming together now in our warband. We can either destroy all enemies at the Sacrarium, or we can destroy all enemies at the Storm Vault. Oh, Weirdware's Seal? I'm tempted to go for the Sacrarium because these enemy types are not as disruptive as the Banshees. Now I know that the Storm Vault is usually a pretty good spot to go for getting some bonus options, but I think that these are kind of balanced to be the same, so let's head out over here. Equip our Liberators and see what skills we want to hand over to them, because they got some awesome stuff. Health per turn for active shield wall seems incredible. If in shield wall, restore 1 health at the end of each turn. I love it. Protect 1 heal. No. This is the other good one. On summon, apply Fortitude to existing Liberators. Fortitude plus 1 max health permanently. That's awesome. Well, we're going to go for getting the regeneration on these guys. Alright, in we go. We have 2 options. We can go to the Wellspring of Aether or the Wellspring of Power. The chest is over here. Wellspring of Power seems more desirable to me because our units are so expensive, the way we've kitted out our warband this round. If you had some magic users, then the Wellspring of Aether would do well. We're going to put the Castigators here rather than directly behind so that they can move up and take the high ground. Alright, we take the high ground, channel the attack onto the opposing high ground, and then take the Wellspring of Power to be able to spawn our Liberators into the shield wall. Get that extra armor up, and we're good to go. Alright, things are getting messy quick. They are channeling onto our position to help or try and break up. Well, we have our shield wall established, but we're going to cut out and clean up all the remaining, what were these? Blade Gas Revenants. Prosecutor comes in, and we are good to go. We're gonna send the Castigators for the chest here. Where do I want to put the Liberators? We'll advance Freya. If we get them in the shield wall, they'll start healing. Put them on the high ground just so that they're out of range, I think. Yeah. Throw out Protect. There we go. Well, we take the chest because this is kind of our lull in the action. And the Prosecutor will be the one to take these guys out. We'll just hole up around here, channel as much Aether as we can, keep the shield wall going to heal up the Liberators. Prosecutor not feeling too good here, but he has a fly reposition, so we can pull him into safety. Not worried about losing him. There's spawn points pretty far away from us. We can still get the indirect attack lined up out here. Get the power reserves while we can. And get in the Palador. We'll put him up ahead, anticipating them spawning in and hopefully him being able to destroy one of these units immediately. Liberator still holding and regenerating. Alright, we want to finish off the chain ghasts first. Their range attacks are very troublesome for us. We'll throw the Blitz attack right here to wipe them out. Now we know these guys will be able to just stay on attack, so we'll line up the ordnance against them. Liberators here will come in with the Divine Edge to finish these guys off. And Freya is going to be looking to square off against the guys we have down in the corner. Oh, where do we put the Prosecutor? Probably just down here to keep the guard going. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're progressing very quickly, knocking out these first couple missions. An Armored Thunderhead Greatbow. I don't think that'll make it into the build. I mean, if we get another unit of Castigators, it'll definitely go on, but right now, probably not. Mouth to the Underhold. Slay the target, or Crossing of Broken Oaths. Destroy the Endless Spell. Well, destroying the Endless Spell sounds great, but there's Banshees there, and I really dislike Banshees, so probably people are tired of hearing me say that. Okay, we have to slay the Lord Executioner, but he's not even on the map right now. We have to get through this first wave. They've laid this uncommon war chest all the way in the corner, just baiting us to go for it. I really want to, but I don't know if we'll make it all the way around. Castigators probably going up here, looking at taking maybe this plateau. This is a very interesting map setup. I've not seen this one before. Ah, they want the high ground. Well, fair enough. Hammer Slam is a Stormcast ability that knocks back its target from one hex to another. Units like Freya and Liberators are granted Hammer Slam by their basic war gear. When fighting on battlefields with chasms and cliffs like this one, try using Hammer Slam on enemies next to the edge to send them plummeting to their death. Okay, so we can get a lot of work done if we manage to actually knock them off the edge. I believe that this kind of like broken area here shows that we could knock them off, causing instant death. I like the sound of that. But I also like camping on generating Aether. We'll still come around, right? And we'll use Hammer Slam here. The damage there goes through armor, and knocking them back does extra damage, so got rid of a unit. Definitely to our advantage. Ooh, okay, so they pull us up, and then smash us into their friends. I don't know if that was really that good for them. We're gonna fortify Freya up here on the high ground and bring in Liberators to solidify this shield wall. They can keep healing as long as they're in the shield wall, so I'm not too worried about them taking the lead. Now what I'm gonna send over to the uncommon war chest, I don't know. It could honestly be the Prosecutor. We just save up the Aether and then ultimately send him over with Fly. I think that would be pretty funny, actually. Alright, we'll take him down. They were trying to get rid of all of our armor, but while they are channeling, they cannot counterattack, so we'll dive in here. Get as much work done as we can. We'll pick up the Aether here. While they're channeling, they won't move, so they really are disabled here. And this is our chance to get the chest, uncontested. One item, it had better be a good one. I'm in no hurry to finish off the wave because I want to be able to pull the Prosecutor back in case wave 2 spawns in right around him. Or at least have Fly up again, but because Fly is such a long cooldown, that's probably not going to happen. We want to just pull him back naturally. Okay, so he comes back. These guys will come around looking to take that high ground again. Yeah, honestly, it's just going to be a lot of repositioning here while I get a chance. There we go. This Chain Rasp doesn't know what to do. Why am I still alive? There we go. We'll knock him off.
The lady has dispatched me to receive you, Stormcast. Wash your neck, and I shall present you to her.
She has dispatched many lackeys to receive me, and I have dispatched each in turn. This will be no different.
Alright, the enemy boss is on the field. How are we going to respond? Well, we will respond first by hopping up here. Gives us a shield wall. Also, camping this spot will delay the spawn of that unit. And then we'll lay the ordnance where we know they're going to spawn in. Something bugged out with this guy still appearing here in our hammer slam because it was trying to spawn him in his dialogue cutscene, so I don't know if it actually went through or not. We will find out soon enough. We have plenty of Aether, so we're going to drop in our Palador in a wonderful blitz range of some of his units. Alright, the gallows have been established, so they do 2 damage to enemies within a radius of 3, and if you destroy it, it will do an explosion, doing 2 damage to adjacent units. So this is a very potent hazard. We're going to throw the blitz over here. We do not take return damage. Looks like we can only ignore the return damage once. Interesting. But then, because of hit and run, you can not only charge twice, but you can still use abilities afterward. Should have used an ability first and then done that final charge, but I didn't think I was going to take that return damage. Maybe sending Freya down the low ground here. So we'll step over here. This guy's just glitched, so that's wonderful. I don't know if I want to advance and use Divine Edge or just hold this kind of armored formation. I think we'll just hold. There's the Gallows throwing out an attack. He gets to spawn more units. That is very interesting. Did they have a spawn point there already? They must have, because in the campaign they don't usually get to spawn in. At least not per turn. Okay, so Protector, Prosecutor is injured and slowed. We're gonna throw out the Javelin here, work on the Gallows. Freya will keep on advancing. Putting this out and getting the Rend seems pretty good. The Palador I want back in range to do his awesome charging abilities. And now, man, that blade is so good against the Lord Executioner. Okay. All our units are summoned. And I like our spot. Here we go. Gallows goes after Freya. That's good. She has the biggest health pool. High ground advantage means the Lord Executioner can't do too much. Takes a lot of return damage, actually. And then the additional lightning damage stacks onto the Gallows here. Alright, Palador finishes off.
Go back to your mistress and tell her that if she desires my head, she must come and take it herself. Then she will learn that there is justice waiting to be served for every soul she has stolen.
Your thirst for revenge blazes bright, Stormcast. I can see your entire soul burning with it. It may eat you up long before my lady deigns to face you herself.
Alright, now we can go to the Realm Gate Drowned Man's Journey, or Desecrated Boneyard, bring down the barrier. The enemy has erected arcane barriers to fortify this wing. Seize the control mechanism to bring down their barrier and slay the Nighthaunt forces cowering behind it. The Realm Gate usually opens up a bonus mission beyond the Realm Gate, but I have not seen this kind of mission before. We're actually going to go over here. Bring down the barrier. I don't mind fighting against these unit types, and picking up a rare tank class looks pretty desirable, rather than just skill and some tribute. We unlocked a unit of Vanguard Hunters, but I don't feel like we have a spot to really put them in if we want to make use of the Prosecutor. The Prosecutor is the one that I would trade out probably. He just is kind of slow, even though he has Fly. Fly is really expensive in terms of Aether. It might be a trade that we make in the future, but right now we're going to stick with the Prosecutor because the more synergies we have with the shield wall on the Liberators, the better. Alright, we use some tribute here on our Palador, and then we can get Relentless, move and attack after summon, just making him this incredible burst of damage when we finally get him. I love it. He's so expensive now, though. Okay, we have to destroy the entire enemy warband. They have the Knight of Shrouds out here behind this full barrier. We have a capture point here in the center, so we're going to want to advance for that as quickly as we can. The Wellspring of Aether is very tempting, but they have chain ghasts ready to take you out if you go for it, so I think we're going to want to hit over here first.
You cower behind barriers now, shrouded knight. Seems I have struck the fear of Sigmar into your hearts.
Your quest for vengeance is relentless, Stormcast. But you will not cross this barrier and live.
I am prepared to do my duty.
Freya hops up. Very tempting to forward spawn to be able to capture a secondary point early on, but no, we want to keep the Castigators as safe as possible, and they are best when they do not have to reposition, so there we go.
None shall pass to reach our Lady of Ashes, unless it be as newly enslaved souls.
You've merely bought yourself time. Even now I spy the controls to dispel this barrier.
Yes, barriers and control points, so if we hold these 3 hexes around the control point, then as long as we hold the majority of it over several turns, you'll see progress. It'll like pop up in the middle and show your color. It'll be blue versus red, and then we control it. They have 2 chain ghasts. Having this range support is gonna definitely put us at a disadvantage, but we can overcome it. We have enough armor. We're gonna drop back and throw the Liberators right over here. There we go. Now, where do we want to put the Castigators as we advance? We probably slide them up this way.
No!
Yeah, get around the Aether.
Forward, my ghasts! Let the living no longer defile Our Lady's domain.
There we go. We at least get some ordnance all the way out there.
In the Thunderer's name.
And then keep the shield wall going right up here. I wonder if he's going to be able to spawn in more guys. 1 more for the shield wall. Enough armor, because the chain ghasts actually they have 1 natural armor penetration on their attacks. So you want a ton of armor to be able to withstand them. Ah, no, they're going right for the Prosecutor. There we go. Fill up our magic reserve. Indirect attack to finish this guy off. Freya needs to go right for the Knight of Shrouds, yeah. I can put the Liberators here. Oh, there's a chest. I want the chest. This is my downfall of all times. I can actually bait him into a challenge, in which case I have skills set up so that Freya will like heal damage and gain an extra armor or take a less damage. So would rather have him do the charge and I get the counterattack here. Oh, do I just fly to the chest? It's gonna be so easy for the Liberators to pick it up. I don't think I need to go that far with it. But I will fly over here. And then, because flying is second nature for this Prosecutor, he can go straight into an attack. Very nice. Okay, everything's coming together here. I want the chest. I got it. Ah, it's only 1 green item? Nah, well. Every little bit is helpful. I mean, I want to go for this guy, but then the Knight of Shrouds can just take him out, I think. Well, will he be able to? Yeah, he can use this, Deadly Decay, which will also give him lifesteal. It depends on what his magical reserves are. Even if I knock him back, he can still, it's the same. So if I go here, he just bounces into my own guys, causing extra damage. I can just throw this charge. I think I do that. Did it? Why did I take the extra? She only moves 2 spaces. She moved 1, 2, 3. Interesting. He just wants to fight Freya. I should have moved up.
obstacle overcome. Another step closer to purging the stain on my honor. Sigmar, I am weary though. Give me the strength to go on, into the night!
Yes, we got the Retributors. If you guys are enjoying this walkthrough, leave a like, consider subscribing. As a tiny channel here, every subscriber is noticed and appreciated. Oh, yes. These Retributors are going to be so good. Alright, we can ascend the Stairless Citadel, destroy all enemies. Or we can go over here. Slay the idol. This is interesting because this would lead us directly into the boss. It says it is the penultimate precipice. This does not say it is the penultimate precipice. I'm actually going to go over here and see what other options are on this side. Alright, the Retributors are just better than the Prosecutor, right? So we're going to go with them. They're using a lightning hammer here. We get knockback, 2 hexes, and trigger chain lightning. Very powerful ability. But we could bring in... this looks like the same. It is. It's only different appearance? Yeah, so you get different appearances. We'll go with this one. What skill do we want them to have? Honestly, cheaper summoning feels like it could be the best thing we can get. So we'll do that. We really want a better Divine Act. Hopefully we pick up a very good one on this next mission. I know what this is. So these barriers, as I understand it, are instant death. Which is very terrifying, given that all these Banshees will knock back enemies. So we need to get our backs to this wall as much as we can to avoid being thrown into the traps by the Banshees. Here they come. Now we can do the same thing with our knockback abilities, but I don't have anything that's going to reach far enough to throw them all the way out there. A rare war chest. I do want it, but I feel like it is too dangerous. Maybe actually falling back with the Castigators is the better move. The better part of Valor. Alright, let's see how things shape up. The Banshees are uninterested in Freya, so that's not good. Yes. I didn't think that they would go down in one hit, but I will take it. So if I go straight in, we fear the Banshees. Maybe that's what we want. Yeah, we'll take that. Oh no, if she takes the rare war chest, I will be so mad. Okay, phew. The danger has passed. Ah, Freya, just going to town. Who goes for picking up the war chest? Okay, there's the explosion. Into the chest. Oh no. Okay, that was actually decent pacing for us to be able to shake off the fear on our units and kind of come around and recover. You're facing 2 Lord Executioners though. Ooh, man. They were really racking up the difficulty on this one. This will actually hurt Freya. The chain lightning does so much. It'll hurt us too. Wow. But it'll take a chunk out of all of them. I think it's worth it. We can pick these guys off. Send Freya up. Advance and protect. We're going to use this to be able to rend off that extra armor. We're just 1 power short, it looks like, of being able to bring in our Palador. We'll set these guys up in a defensive stance. And we'll ask for this charge. The Gallows going after the Castigators there. They're a very squishy unit, so that's dangerous. Oh, we're so close. 1 health. 1 health short. I don't think we had another way to do that where we would have really made it. Because with the way our guys were all clumped up. Yeah. There we go. Marked for death. There we go. No casualties. Excellent to see. We get a bunch of tribute. And we get the Thunderer Shield. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Alright, this takes us to the Court of the Ashen Queen. We have a great warband built up. Unfortunately, we don't really have a very powerful divine act. I would have loved to get a strong summon going here. We just don't have that, so we're going to have to see how well we do against the Court of the Ashen Queen. Alright guys, as many of you probably know, the Court of the Ashen Queen is an insanely hard combat encounter that is going to have to be a topic for another video. This one has dragged on long enough. If you enjoyed this walkthrough, leave a like, comment on how you think I could potentially improve my play progression through building the warband, and subscribe if you want to get that notification of when I put out the guide for defeating the Ashen Queen herself. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.